Hi guys, so this is Mr. Jojo. So this is my video explanation for each of the questions in our second test. So please watch and listen carefully. For number 1, using the graphical method, solve the following simultaneous equation. So we have 3x minus y equals 2 and then x minus y equals negative 2. So first, if this is a graphical method, we need to make our table of values first. So one for each equation. So what do I mean by that? So we are going to make an x and y table having values negative 1, 0, and 1 for x. And then also, we'll do the same for the other equation. So I'll use a blue marker for that. So x, y. So still we will use negative 1, 0, and 1 for our x values. Okay. So next step is to fill in the tables. So we need to fill in the y values for each table using the equation. So for my first equation, 3x minus y equals 2. So we need to complete the y values for each. So that gives us what? Okay, so if we plug a negative 1 on the first equation, what are we going to have? So it will give us a negative 5. So this is negative 5. And then if we plug 0 here, what are we going to get? So we'll have negative 2. And then if we have a positive 1, so our y value is also 1. Okay, and then for the second equation, we will do the same. We will complete this table here. So if we plug negative 1 on the second equation, so what are we going to get? So we are going to get positive 1. And then if we plug 0 here in place of x, so what are we going to get? So we are going to get 2. Okay, and then if we plug 1 there, so we're going to get 3. Okay, so we are now complete. So we have the 2 tables for each equation. So what is next after this? So we need to plot these points on a Cartesian plane or an x and y plane. Okay, so this one. Okay, so this is your x and y plane. So let's plot the points here. So for the first equation, so plotting each point, so we have a negative 1 and negative 5, so it's over here. And then 0, negative 2 here. And then lastly, we have 1 and 1, so it's here. And then you need to draw a straight line connecting these 3 points, right? Okay, so there we go. Okay, there we go. That's your straight line. Now, how about for the other equation? So we just plot those points again. So negative 1 and 1. So it's here. 0, 2 is here. Then 1 and 3 is here. Okay, so what's next? We need to plot those points and connect them with a line. So it's like this. It's not blue anyway, it's okay. So there you go. So you see their intersection point. Okay, so their intersection point is your solution. Okay, and what is your solution? So your solution or your answer for number 1 is 2, 4 or 2, 4. So that is our answer for number 1, 2, 4. Now for number 2, by using the elimination method, solve the following simultaneous equation. So we have 2x minus 3y equals 5 and 5 plus 5y equals 3x. So first, we need to do something with the second equation. So we need to rearrange this like our first equation. So how do we write that? So let me write everything first. So we have 2x minus 3y equals 5. Now, for the second equation, that gives us 3x or negative 3x plus 5y equals negative 5. Okay? So how do we eliminate this? Or how do we eliminate a variable? Okay, so by using elimination method, we should find opposites. Okay, so for me, I will eliminate x first. Okay, but if you prefer to eliminate y, it's fine, and if we will still get the same answer anyway. So what should I do to get this x eliminated? So I need to make them opposites of one another. So this is 2x and then this is negative 3x. So how do we find their opposites? So think of their LCM or opposites of their LCM. So it's 6, right? So one is positive 6x and then one is negative 6x. Okay, so let's transform them into opposites. So for my first equation, to make this 6x, I need to multiply this by 3. And then for my second equation, I need to multiply this equation by 2. Okay. So what will I get from multiplying this? So let's write it here on the sides. So we should be getting 6x and then minus 9y equals 15. And then for the second one, it is negative 6x plus 10y equals negative 10. Okay, so we can now eliminate x or 6x because they are opposites. So that means when you add them, they are equal to 0. So let's add the following terms. So negative 9y plus 10y gives you y equals, okay, so what is y here? Y is 5. So that is your answer. So y is equal to 5. Okay, now how do we get the value of x? So first, you just choose which equation you want to use, the first one or the second one. It doesn't matter because it will give you the same answer. So for me, I'll use the first equation because it has smaller numbers. Oops, okay, so 2x, okay, minus 3y equals 5. So it's now 2x minus 3. Now what is y? Y is 5. So now this one is now 5. Okay, this is now 5. Wait, let me just, okay, so this is 5 now, and then equals, wait, this is 5, and then equals 5. Okay, so just solve for x. So this is now 2x minus 15 equals 5. Okay, so this is 2x equals 20. Okay, we get that one. So therefore x is equal to, equal to 10. Okay, so that is your x value. So your answer for number 2, okay, is 10 and 5. Okay, 10 and 5. How about number 3? Using the substitution method, solve the following simultaneous equation. So we have fractions here for number 3. So we have x plus y over 4 equals y over 2, and then 1/3 equals 2 over x minus 3y. First, if you're given fractions, we always want to remove the fractions right away, right? So for this, we just need to cross multiply. Okay, so 2 times the numerator and then 4 times y, and then we will do the same thing here on the second equation. Okay, so that gives us, okay, So for the first equation, that gives us 2x plus 14. So now it becomes 2x plus 14 equals, what is 4? Okay, that is equal to 4y. And then rearranging them, okay, let me rearrange it right away. So it becomes 2x minus 4y equals negative 14. Okay, how about for the second equation? For the second equation, so we have, so x minus 3y equals 6. Okay, so there's no rearranging for the second equation. So what are we going to do now? Okay, so let me just put the second equation here under, okay, under the first equation. So this is now x minus 3y equals 6. Okay. Now, if we're going to use substitution method, we need to choose one equation and then make x or y the subject of that equation. So for me, okay, I highly suggest that look for a variable without any number. Okay, in this case, I have x here. So I'll choose the second equation. So what will I do with my second equation? So my second equation now becomes this. Okay, I will change the subject. So I'll make x the subject. So it becomes x equals 6 plus 3y. Okay, so that's my second equation now. So x is equal to 6 plus 3y. So I made it in terms of y. Okay, or making x the subject of my second equation. So what is next after this? So after that, we should substitute this in place of x, okay, on the other equation. So that's what we're going to do now. Okay, so writing down the first equation again, so 2x minus 4y equals negative 14. So 2, now instead of x, we're going to write 6 plus 3y, okay, and then minus 4y equals negative 14. So as you can see, there's no more x in our equation, so we just need to solve for the value of y. So to get that, we simplify everything, so it becomes 12 plus 6y minus 4y equals negative 14. So solving for y, this is 2y equals negative 14 minus 12. 2y is equal to negative 26. So therefore y is equal to negative 13. So that is the value of y, negative 13. How about for the values or the value of x? So for the value of x, we just need to use this one, okay, here, right here. So we plug the value of y there. Okay, so if y is equal to negative 13, okay, so let me solve it here. So x equals 6 plus 3y. So x equals 6 plus 3 times negative 13 is what? So 6 minus 39 will give you x is equal to negative 33. So x is negative 33 and y is equal to negative 13. So that's for number 3. Alright, so for number 4, there are 40 questions in a quiz. 3 marks are awarded for each correct answer and 2 marks are deducted for each wrong answer. If Tristan answered all the questions and obtained 60 marks in the quiz, find the number of questions that he answered correctly and B, the number of questions that he answered wrongly. First, let's break down the sentence again. Okay, so there are 40 questions in a quiz. Okay, so that means there are 2 things here. You have correct and wrong answers, right? So first we designate values for x and y. So x is are my correct answers and y are my wrong answers. Okay, so if there's a 40 question in a quiz, so that means it's basically x plus y, or correct plus wrong, is equal to 40, because there are 40 questions, right? Now, for my second equation, 3 marks are awarded for each correct and 2 marks are deducted. So from that, so that is 3x minus 2y equals what? 60, because Tristan got 60 marks. So these are your two equations for number 4. And then it's up to you now if you want to use elimination or substitution. Okay, for me, I'd rather use substitution. Okay, so what I'll do here is to use the first equation. Okay, make this in terms of x. So I'll make y the subject. So y equals 40 minus x. Okay, and then after that, I'll plug this on the y value on the other equation. So that gives me 3x minus 2. And then what is y? Y is 40 minus x equals 60. And then solving for x, so 3x minus 80 plus 2x equals 60, right? So 3x plus 2x is 5x equals 60 plus 80. Alright, so solving for x, so 5x is equal to 60 plus 80 gives you 140, and then what is x? So x is equal to 28. Okay, and let me use a red. So x is equal to 28. How about our y value? So for our y value, okay, so I'll just use this one here, this here. Y is equal to 40 minus x, so y is equal to 40 minus x. So y is equal to 40 minus 28, which is 12. So therefore, there are 28 correct answers, okay, in Tristan's paper, and 12 wrong answers. Okay, so that is number 4. Okay, so for our final question, number 5, 2 years ago, Mr. Edgar's age was 7 times his daughter's age. In 3 years time, he will be 4 times as old as his daughter. Find A, Mr. Edgar's present age, and letter B, his daughter's age in 12 years. Alright, so this is an age problem involving simultaneous equations. So first thing is first, so we designate x and y values for each person. So for me,